There certainly is a lot in the economic news these days. There's work from home and labor productivity and supply chain bottlenecks and, of course, inflation. And a big component of inflation is housing. In fact, it's probably the biggest component for most individuals because it's the biggest chunk of everyone's budget, right? Recently, I had somebody ask me, is inflation worse in the Pikes Peak region? Is that just my imagination and talking to, family and friends across the nation? I'd say the answer to that is probably yes, because we've had almost logarithmic increases in home prices here over the last several years. So let's look at the data. In June of this year, that was the first time we ever broached the $500,000 or $500,000 mark for the average home price. The average home price was $503,000, the median $450,000. In 2014, when I moved here 7 years ago, prices were literally half of what they are today. So the average home price was about $250,000. So, we are now at a point where we are 21% more expensive than the average U.S. home. Now, let's look at the doubling rule. Typically across the U.S. in normal times, the average home price increases by twofold or doubles in 20 years. We've had that happen here in just 7. Now, as an economist, I worry about that because baby boomers are retiring. We have, for the first time ever in 2020, a declining population growth rate for ages 20 to 64. So what does that mean? That basically means that there's a huge demand for qualified labor. So if you want qualified, especially young people moving here and staying here, it has to be affordable. And we have been relatively affordable, but it is changing quickly. And the story is not any brighter really for renters. The average lease rate now in Colorado Springs is $1,330. And not too long ago, it was about half of that. And $1,300 is not that different than Denver's $1,500. Now, next week, I'm going to talk about why prices have increased so much across the nation and perhaps even more so in our region.